Hi, I'm Rob Paterson. I'm talking to you from the boardroom of the Queen Street Commons in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. The Queen Street Commons was one of the first ever co-working sites set up anywhere in the world, back in 2005, the beginning of time of the co-working movement. I'm going to talk today a little bit about some of the things that I've learned as I've spent the week with my friends at Startup Canada, and we've talked to many of the leaders of the entrepreneur community on Prince Edward Island, and many of the leaders of the community of people with the money and the policy and the influence to help them all. And the first area I'd like to talk about is culture. We go to school today, and really the lesson we get from school is how to be obedient and how to toe the line. Most of the entrepreneurs that I've met during the course of this week have actually told me that they didn't fit in very well into this environment. In fact, they're the kind of people that the teachers often complain about, and many of them actually had great difficulty finishing school, and some of them never finished it at all. And the issue that they've pointed out to me is that being a real entrepreneur is to be a natural innovator, thinker, and rebel. And our prevailing culture is really one of obedience. And if we're going to encourage more entrepreneurs to come out of our school system and out of our society, I think we need to recognize that the so-called bad boys and girls at school, the ones who didn't fit in, the one who always told the teacher what they really thought, are the people that we need to reach out to and lend a hand and pull them out of that culture into the culture that they feel most fitted to. And the second point related to this point about culture is, of course, mentorship. In that if you're in an environment where everybody is towing the line and you're not one of those kind of people, you tend to feel alone, strange, and weird. It's extremely helpful to have a mentor who shares your values and your view of the world, reach out and help you. Many of the entrepreneurs that we've talked to this week have had this experience themselves, and all of them have told us that they're committed to reach out and find other young people who were like them when they were young and help them along, and to reach out to other entrepreneurs as they're struggling to get their first business up and help them too. There is no course you can take. There is no book you can read. Only an interaction with another entrepreneur just like you can help you make it happen. The essence of being an entrepreneur is that you are a bit of a loner, actually. You aren't listening to other people, and you've usually got your head down and working very hard indeed. That's a very good thing for your business, but it doesn't do much for the ecosystem of startups and entrepreneurs in the community that you live in. One of the wonderful things that I've seen in the last week is that many of these very busy entrepreneurs are starting to look up and see that they are not alone, that they're part of a community. And actually, if they got together and started working on the whole ecosystem of the community with each other, they could advance the community much more than if they just kept their head down. And so one of the things that I'm really looking forward to here is seeing the entrepreneur community here self-organize into a self-help organization. And that's the way that they're going to get policy change in government, more resources, and more help. And finally, we've also seen in the last week since I've been here, the policy leaders, those who have the money, those who can change the laws and the regulations to make business easier or better, start to see this community of startups and entrepreneurs in a new light themselves. I think much of our regulation and policy and money has been aimed at mature, stable, static, conventional business. And really the entrepreneur community is seen as a bit of an afterthought. The entrepreneurs find all the programs and so-called help and support that's available to them extremely difficult to navigate. It's really, and they're very busy as well. And I'm seeing, very hopefully for me, an awareness in the policy and the support community that they could do well by again coming together and really focusing their efforts on making it easier for the small to find their way, to navigate, in fact, their way through what is now a very complex system. And I think that if this group could come together as well as the entrepreneur group coming together in their form and sit across the table from each other quite formally, regularly, I think we'll see an enormous advance. Because on Prince Edward Island, we're small enough for this to happen. I actually saw all the people who could do this in a room, sitting around the same table. It's not too difficult, and I think we can and must do it.